on Cougar News, a recent shooting at the UCSB campus leaves students searching for answers.
Plus, why won't you be able to swim in a local hotspot at Lake Castaic this summer?
Also, we'll tell you how music can help you stay focused while studying. Cougar News starts now.
This is Cougar News.
Hello and welcome to Cougar News. I'm Taylor Villanueva.
And I'm CJ Schmid. Here's the latest from the Cougar Newsroom.
People all over the United States took time to remember all the fallen war heroes this past Memorial Day. Our own Christiane Kimberlin shows us how Eternal Valley Cemetery spent the day remembering our veterans.
The Eternal Valley Memorial Park and Mortuary and the Santa Clarita Valley Veterans Memorial hosted their third Memorial Day tribute on Monday, May 26, beginning at 10 a.m. This program is dedicated in memory of all veterans who have served, fought, and died for our freedom. Some of the highlights were the Boy Scout Troop 2379 marked over 5,600 grave sites with a flag for all who have served in the military service. There was a gun salute, and the SCV Master Choral performed America the Beautiful. The reading of inscribed names on the memorial wall from the Santa Clarita as well as from the San Fernando Valley began after the conclusion of the program.
Harper F. Edmond, Gilbert E. Armstrong.
Bagpiper Chelsea Joy Wells performed at the conclusion of the reading. And this is Christiane Kimberlin reporting for Cougar News.
It was an emotional night in Saugus for those who remembered loved ones lost to cancer. Ariel Thompson visited the candlelight vigil held for those in memory.
We all have a story that unlocks passion on the inside of us to continue to relay for life.
Thousands came to Central Park to raise cancer awareness during the annual Relay for Life. The event raises money to find a cure for cancer.
This helps me to carry on their legacy and just share their love with other people that are going through it.
An orange glow shined throughout the park during a nighttime candle lighting service. The candle lighting was a special sentiment for those who have lost someone to cancer.
The ceremony itself tonight meant to me everything about my best friend Candace here. She is my best friend, and I don't know where I'd be without her.
It gives a great opportunity for everyone with survivors or people with cancer in their family to come to an event and share with others, and it helps them to cope with what's going on in their life and give them a resource to do that, and obviously to help raise money to help all those people as well.
The same woman who fought being physically abused on a daily basis. The same woman who stood strong for her children. The same woman who protected her children. The same woman invokes a passion in me today. Why? Because remembering tonight is very powerful. What is your story?
For Cougar News, I'm Ariel Thompson.
In recent weeks, there's been a string of accidents involving law enforcement officials.
Our own Jesse Canales, Cougar News reporter, was there to investigate the incidents. Jesse?
Thanks, CJ. A sheriff's deputy is in the hospital following a crash with a glass truck in Castaic Wednesday morning. The accident took place just after 9:30 on Castaic Road when a truck carrying sheets of glass collided with a sheriff's cruiser. The collision sent a female sheriff's deputy to Henry Mayo Newhall Hospital with minor injuries. Witnesses say the cruiser reportedly attempted a U-turn in front of the oncoming glass truck. The resulting collision trapped the deputy. The crash is still under investigation. This has been Jess Canales. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Jesse, and we do hope that investigation gets solved soon. Imagine waking up every day in constant pain and fear for your health. Well, for one Santa Clarita resident, unfortunately, this is a reoccurring feeling that she feels no one should have to endure. Antonio Curiel has the story.
Cormac, 22 years old. I have 14 diseases and a brain tumor. So I've lived with all of these diseases since I was born. I had RSV and jaundice, and then as I got older, I went through a lot of surgeries, radiation therapy, medication, steroids, and I have a brain tumor that I was diagnosed with a couple years ago when I was about 18. Still dealing with that, and that also fluctuates my hormones and depression, anxiety. My family kind of tries to be strong for me so that way I can just live a normal life. And I try to live as normal as I can. I try to every day just to make it as easy as I can, just so everybody else around me can be fine. Everything that I do have is severe. It is fatal. It's very debilitating, and just try to live normal. Around junior high, I told somebody that I had lupus, and they thought it was AIDS. So that went around, and then people didn't want to be around me. They thought I was airborne. They thought I was contagious. They didn't want to be near me. And I got bullied a lot. I just didn't say anything about me being sick because I didn't want people to see me as a liability. I didn't want people to judge me. I didn't want people to think differently about me. I just wanted to be normal. It was really hard for me to graduate, but I had to pull through even after surgeries, radiation, steroids. Still pulled through and still had to, do what I had to do. And now it's come to a time where doctors can't really figure out what's wrong with me because it's so tricky to figure out from my history. So now I'm trying to raise money on GoFundMe.com, and I'm trying to get the stem cell treatment. It costs $40,000, and now I'm trying to get stem cell treatment so I can be completely cured and just live the rest of my life normal and not have to suffer and not have to go through any more pain anymore.
More info on how you can donate, go ahead and visit Jauzlynn's Miracle Money page on Facebook.
Bullying has become a serious topic in the Santa Clarita Valley. Our own Nick Collada gives us a closer look at what people think of bullying and what can be done to prevent it.
Punch me, strangle me, take things from me, sit on me.
We see it time and time again. Bullying. It's everywhere we go. The city of Carson wanted to put a stop to it all and make it illegal. But can bullying actually be illegal?
Obviously, if it gets physical, then it would be battery or some sort of law that already exists. So I get the concept behind trying to prevent it, but the whole thing seems to be sort of unfounded in the thought that there isn't enough tools to deal with it, rather than it's just not being enforced already.
Under Carson's proposed law, offenders bullying anyone from kindergarten to the age of 25 would face a misdemeanor, be required to pay a fine, and seek counseling.
I don't think it should be a misdemeanor, that's a little much, but I think definitely teachers and parents should enforce it more that bullying is wrong, but I don't think that they should get in trouble with the law just because of bullying.
So, should bullying be illegal?
I don't think bullying should be illegal. I think that there should be other punishments that are enforced.
I think bullying should be illegal because it is like a crime. It escalates from one thing to another. And for some reason you have this urge to, not like a particular race, not like a particular person. It escalates.
I think bullying is wrong, but I don't think we should go to the extreme of, bringing it to the law. I think schools should handle it or parents should handle it. They should teach their children to stand up for themselves, and schools should have anti-bullying programs.
I spoke to the public relations officer for the William S. Hart Union School District, Gail Pinsker, about some of the school programs offered.
We have a number of anti-bullying programs and campaigns going on at all of our schools. Our most successful program that's run every year is our Safe School Ambassadors, which is on most of our campuses. And this program actually trains student leaders to watch outside of class and even in class what's going on with the student body, and they're taught how to break up any potentially hurtful situations and how to diffuse situations and how to help students get along. And a lot of our teachers are trained as well.
Additional to the Safe School Ambassadors program, they also have assemblies at each school by motivational speakers, like the dude Mike Smith.
He's kind of this surfer, long-haired looking dude. In fact, using the word dude sounds funny, but his whole program is called Dude Be Nice. And it's a really big deal. There's a whole website built around Mike Smith and his Dude Be Nice theme, and he really impacts kids right where they really understand it.
Under California law, It prevents the school district dealing with off-campus bullying.
When a student is at home, even though it's against another student, we have no jurisdiction based on the law on that. And that's one thing that parents really need to understand, is they need to supervise their kids and find out who they're with, not only physically and in person, but also online. Who are they chatting with online? Who are they connecting with online? Because cyberbullying has become a big problem, and as much as we don't like it and we don't want our kids impacted by cyberbullying, unless it's happening on the school campus, it's out of our jurisdiction and becomes a law enforcement issue.
I think that bullying is something that can really scar somebody at a young age and they'll never forget about it. And I think that everybody should just get along, love each other, not judge, and just stop bullying, because it really, really can harm a child, and that's not cool.
Bullying has always been like a big problem, but it's time that, during these ages, we got to do something about it. It's not fair for other people to feel left out. It's not fair for other people to get hurt. It's just, we need to control it.
The law can only control so much, but it starts in our schools.
All of our campuses are safe. Student safety is our #1 priority at the Hart School District. But when we have a safe school ambassador program as strong as, for example, at Canyon High School, that just makes things even better. Students feel comfortable, they're included, it's a very inclusive community, and it's a much better learning environment for students, which is the #1 thing they should be worried about. But we want students to grow socially and emotionally as well, and so that part of it's very important too.
So dude, be nice. For Cougar News, I'm Nick Collada.
And now we have even more breaking news, so we bring in our Cougar Update expert, Monique Arquidez.
Yeah, Monique, I hear you could get more than a latte at Starbucks.
Oh, you can get a lot of lattes, guys. For all you Starbucks lovers out there, a new record was set this week for the most expensive coffee drink. The value of the drink came to $54.75 for a 128-ounce Frappuccino with 60 shots of espresso. This past weekend, Disneyland held its annual 24-hour day with a theme of heroes versus villains. From 6 a.m. Friday morning to 6 a.m. Saturday morning, all different types of posts about Disneyland were trending. From 9 o'clock p.m. to 1 o'clock a.m., traffic was backed up on the Disney Way and Harbor Boulevard exits, and there were even points where all the resort structures were full. Saturday night, a gunman went on a shooting rampage near UC Santa Barbara, which killed 6 people and left 13 others wounded. Deputies found the gunman, whom we now know as Elliot Rogers, dead with a gunshot wound to his head. UC Santa Barbara students, faculty, and loved ones returned to the campus Tuesday, not for school, but to have a day of mourning. University campuses across the nation also held vigil light services in honor of those who lost their lives this past weekend. Los Angeles County officials have announced there will be no swimming at the Castaic Lake State Recreation Area for the rest of the summer. This is the first of such closures in the state park's history. Drought-induced retreating water levels have created conditions that are said to be unsafe to the public. High school students get a subdued reminder from the Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station to celebrate graduation season safely.
Golden Valley High School students got a somber reminder to celebrate safely this graduation season. Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff's Station Captain Roosevelt Johnson and Deputy Josh Dubin issued white ribbons to students with the names of local teens killed in traffic incidents since 2009.
And obviously they want to party and do things which causes them to be fatigued. They might imbibe in some type of celebration where they make a bad judgment and get in a car where someone's been drinking and ultimately drive, and all of those things. That combination is actually devastating and deadly for someone of their age.
The ribbon pinning is part of an ongoing effort to keep Santa Clarita's youth safe.
Students have worked very, very hard to get to this point in their life, and they have their whole entire life ahead of them. So we want to congratulate them, we want to remind them to use good judgment, and we want to remind them of the students that we have lost in the past. We're also asking that students, parents, and if you use social media, use hashtag #SCVWhiteRibbon to pledge your support for the White Ribbon program.
Congratulations, and be sure to celebrate safely, all you soon-to-be graduates. That's the latest from the Update Desk. For more stories in and around the Santa Clarita Valley, you can check us out at cougarnews.com. Back to you guys.
Thank you again, Monique. And once again, we'd like to give out a heartfelt congratulations to a safe graduation season for the class of 2014. Moving on, could you imagine if the internet wasn't as free and open as we know it? Our own Faris Soudani takes us in for a closer look at the laws behind net neutrality.
The internet is the most popular utility of the modern age. Did you know that every day more and more of your internet content is becoming censored? Under the Federal Communications Commission's current regulations, the internet is not considered a public utility, and this may very well be the reason the internet as we know and love will never be the same. A recent district court judge struck down the constitutionality of net neutrality, leaving the FCC with two options: classifying the internet as a public utility, or giving internet service providers the ability to discriminate on the types of data that flows through the web. It's a little known, yet important aspect of the internet, net neutrality, the principle to keep the internet a fair and equal place for all data, as the founder of the World Wide Web, Tim Berners-Lee, intended.
Let's say there's 5 or 6 companies, Amazon, Netflix, and 3 or 4 others we don't even know about yet, all paying fees to get first up service. Where does that leave the people who aren't paying it? To slower speeds, to no speeds, or to dial-up speeds? I mean, it really limits what people can do, in my opinion. It really limits what businesses can do in developing new innovative technologies for the web.
It's an election year, and the first of several voting opportunities is coming up. Haiti Mejia has more.
Tuesday, June 3rd, is the statewide primary election. Dr. Lee Rogers is running for Congress and wants your vote. The CMEX mining project is a controversial project that would take place among Soledad Canyon. I was able to talk to Dr. Rogers about what he intends to do if elected, which is directly tied to our valley.
It's my #1 priority because it's going to affect so many people, and it's also something that's doable. I know I can get it done. That the CMEX mine is going to be really bad for people in Santa Clarita, not only for what you might consider health issues from pollution of the air and the water, but also put 1,200 rock and sand trucks, 1,200 trucks a day on Highway 14, congest up the highway, and so we've talked to many people. Home values are at risk, so this is something that we don't want in our valley.
People of Santa Clarita and this district at large. He's really done his homework. He understands what our priorities are, and he's committed to making sure that he goes to Washington to create solutions.
Santa Clarita Valley, and as a small business owner, I am very supportive of small business, and so is Dr. Lee Rogers.
Local elections are sometimes more important than the presidential elections because they cover regional issues that affect you directly. For Cougar News, I'm Haiti Boyle.
Well, here we are at our first break, but coming up, find out how you can save some money this summer.
And if you like coffee and free concerts, we might just have a place for you. Stay tuned, guys.
Are you still looking for your school? College of the Canyons is located on scenic rolling hills with competitive programs such as new media journalism, state-of-the-art sports facilities, and a culinary arts program that will be opening their brand new building with 3 state-of-the-art test kitchens. At only $46 a unit, you will discover that COC is the community college for you. Find out more at www.canyons.edu.
I'm Richard Horvitz.
I'm Tara Strong.
I'm Michael C. Morona.
And I'm Danny Tamborelli.
Hi, this is Ming Chen.
This is Mike Zapsik.
Hi, it's Louis Anderson.
I'm Weird Al.
I'm Florence Henderson.
I'm the Grinch.
And you're watching.
And you're watching.
And you're watching.
And you're watching. You're watching. And you're watching.
And you lucky people are watching.
Cougar News.
Cougar News. Cougar News.
Cougar News.
Cougar News.
Cougar News.
You're watching Cougar News.
So this is for the older ladies.
And I'm a cougar.
Hello and welcome back. If you like coffee, tea, entertainment, and all of that inside a great environment, our own Robert Uloa has just the place for you.
Underground's community coffee house, located at Real Life Church on Newhall Ranch Road, hosted a concert for local artist, singer, and songwriter Savannah Burrows. Undergrounds supports local artists and provides a space for artists to share and perform in their own living room. Concerts are free and held every first and third Saturday of the month. Not only will you find coffee, espresso, and loose leaf teas, you'll experience and witness aspiring artists with talent. This is Robert Ulloa reporting with Cougar News.
And speaking of coffee, caffeine is one way students get their energy, but there may be a better way when it comes to studying. Lindsay Maxitopoulos has more.
Finals are around the corner, the dreaded time of year where studying is at an all-time high. But maybe studying doesn't have to be so bad after all. A recent study at Stanford University showed that music engages the part of the brain involved with paying attention and making predictions.
It totally does. I love music. I listen to it all the time.
I do listen to music, but it doesn't help me because I end up listening to like my jam, so I just can't keep focused.
Usually I do most of the time because I feel it makes me more comfortable and I can actually sort of pay attention.
Depends on music. I put on like classical music when I study because they say it helps you, and it does help me.
A University of Dayton study found that students performed better at spatial and linguistic processing if Mozart was playing in the background.
Usually with both. With lyrics, I kind of notice that I sing along and I kind of procrastinate doing it. But without lyrics, I kind of get more into the mood and I actually accomplish my homework.
But when I do listen to music and keep in focus, it's mainly just things without like words.
But I listen to more like music that doesn't have lyrics or anything like that because it kind of just like distracts me, but not too much. So I kind of like it, yeah.
I know it's like with classical music, obviously there's no lyrics in classical music, but it kind of does like keep you from like really thinking about the lyrics when you're doing homework. You just hear noise, you know.
When like the room is in complete silence, I'm more distracted because I tend to like start looking around for things to distract me. So when I have music with me, it kind of keeps me in line with what I want to do.
So maybe the lack of classical music is what's keeping you away from an A. For COC News, I'm Lindsay Maxitopoulos.
Regardless of how you study, finals mean that summer is just around the corner. And if you're looking for a staycation, you can just hop onto the 5 South and head to Hollywood. Our own Alyssa Dickert shows us some of the spots you have to visit over summer break.
Summer's right around the corner, and if you're on a budget, here are a few places you should check out that aren't too far away from home.
Overlooking all of Los Angeles, Griffith Observatory is a fun-filled place for all ages. You can be an astronomer for the day and enjoy all the exhibits it has to offer.
Griffith Park is a great place to come, get out of the house, enjoy a little sun, enjoy the sights, great trails, you got the Hollywood sign over there.
With trails to the Hollywood sign and gorgeous views, pack a picnic and make a day of it. Looking for a new hiking trail with great views and possible celebrity sightings? Runyon Canyon is the place.
I'm really into fitness, so that's why I come out here, to just run it, if not just like hang around and just talk and just see who's up here. Maybe you run to a celebrity, maybe not.
There are 3 main hiking trails, depending upon your intensity, that lead to breathtaking views. The park is also dog-friendly, so bring your furry friend along.
Well, there you have it. I just showed you a few great places to check out if you're just looking for a staycation this summer. Reporting for Cougar News, I'm Alyssa Dickert.
There's plenty of entertainment news in Hollywood. That's why we have our own Ariel Thompson.
Ariel, I hear you have some beautiful pictures of the Kim Ye wedding.
Of course I do. This past weekend, Kanye West really got a love lockdown with the gorgeous Kim Kardashian in Florence, Italy. The wedding party started on Thursday night all the way until Memorial Day. The couple first started off in Paris with the rehearsal dinners that included all the guests. However, everyone was flown to Italy for the actual wedding. The wedding costs ended up coming to a total of $2.8 million. The lovely couple had amazing performance by John Legend, who sang All of Me, and right after he followed with a moving speech to Kim and Kanye. The next question seems to be, what is in store for the couple's honeymoon? The honeymoon is planned to only be 4 days and started this past Sunday. The couple has not given out their location, but we know they are touring states in Dublin, Ireland. But what will Kim Ye do next? We will just have to wait and see. Each year, Vans hosts their annual Warped Tour, and this summer the show is going to be even bigger than ever. More bands, more people, and more awesome music. The event is awesome. And if you're a fan of either rock, pop, or alternative music, then this is the festival for you. Bands such as Mayday Parade, 303, All Time Low, and many more will be in attendance. If you're interested in attending, you can buy your tickets now at vanswarpedtour.com. Be sure to check it out. Former COC instructor Mike Ault just revealed that his new film, Lake Los Angeles, is showing this June at the annual LA Film Festival. The film revolves around a young girl named Cecilia who crosses the border into the United States. Once there, she is quickly take on a motherly role to an immigrant named Francisco, who is separated from his family. Lake Los Angeles shows the struggles of being alone and searching to fulfill the elusive American dream. For tickets, visit filmguide.lafilmfest.com. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Entertainment. I'm Ariel Thompson. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ariel. And I still can't believe $2.8 million. That's so much money. I just can't get over it. West Ranch High School attempted something no other high school in the Hart District has ever done before. Andy Aquino brought us in for a closer look into space.
West Ranch High School students' hard work finally paid off today with their successful launch of their high-altitude balloon, Friday, May 16th, 2014.
It was our job basically to design a thing which has been called the bomb, which will collect cosmic dust, which is basically particles from the solar system and perhaps younger than that.
It's awesome. I've never seen anything like that in the Hart District before. This is my third student through high school. It was fabulous.
I was really blown away. I recorded the whole thing.
I was impressed. I mean, I was worried about the wind because at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock while I was at the tennis courts, it was very, very windy, and I was concerned that this wouldn't work out.
Though the unit opened on re-entry at a little over 80,000 feet, which contaminated samples of cosmic dust, the West Ranch High School students are eagerly planning a second attempt. Reporting for Cougar News, I'm Andy Aquino.
One of the oldest buildings in Santa Clarita happens to belong to the Newhall Ice Company. Aldo Canepa has more.
If you're ever in Newhall, you might notice the Newhall Ice Company, a store that's been in the city for generations.
Newhall Ice first came to Santa Clarita in 1906, and we were just down the street a little bit. And then in 1922, this building where we are now was built as a freezer storage, and Newhall Ice moved into it in the mid-1920s, and we've been selling ice here ever since.
And even though this building and freezer were built in the 1920s, it still keeps the ice cold.
We maintain all the local liquor stores here in Santa Clarita as well as San Fernando Valley. And once winter hits, when we're not selling as many ice cubes, we actually sell snow. We go to people's homes, we blow snows in their front yards and make little winter wonderlands. We support family too. We're family owned, family operated, and we're part of the history of Santa Clarita. So if you help keep us in business, then we'll be here even longer.
So if you're ever in the area, be sure to stop by the Newhall Ice Company. It's a part of Santa Clarita's history. For Cougar News, I'm Aldo Canepa.
When you think of going on a family vacation like going to the zoo, a lot of times it involves a long drive. Well, not anymore thanks to Abby Gutierrez's closer look into local zoo life.
Have you ever wondered how old a tree is? What fox fur and snakeskin feels like? The Wildlife Learning lets you experience that and much more. This local zoo isn't your ideal San Diego or LA zoo, but it sure has many similarities. This mini zoo has been rescuing abandoned animals all around the country.
Bald eagle wants to get rid of them.
Animal experts walk around the park to answer questions regarding animals. A separate room has different types of reptiles, including snakes, tarantulas, and iguanas.
When I was 12.
Today I saw some foxes and amphibians, some crocodiles and tortoises.
For just a small entrance fee, everyone is welcome to learn and get more familiar with animals. If you would like to become a volunteer at the Wildlife Center, visit cougarnews.com. For more information, I'm Abby Gutierrez.
Cariel Kaczynski spoke at College of the Canyons to discuss her views on how the U.S. prison market is trying to make a profit off of its inmates.
Let's make a profit off of something that's good for all of us. I'm happy to try to help people understand more about the way that public communication makes an impact on systems within our state. I'm really hoping that maybe something from the talk or even something from the book might help that, improve it.
If you want to learn more about Cariel's views, you can check out her book, Cashing In on Crime. Still to come on Cougar News, find out how the closure of Castaic Lake didn't stop some swimmers.
And we're just getting started. Coming up next, right after the break, find out how sugary foods can be good for you.
In the mood for endless Italian dishes? Vincenzo's Pizza is your one-stop shop.
From their hand-tossed thin crust pizzas, to their meaty Chicago dogs and their toasty sandwiches, to their creamy chicken Alfredo pasta. I love their chicken Alfredo pasta.
Vincenzo's New Hall has exactly what your appetite desires.
With fresh ingredients, 12 cold beers on tap, and live entertainment on the weekend, you will not be disappointed.
Vincenzo's Pizza, inch for inch, the best pizza in the Santa Clarita Valley.
Habitat for Heroes.
Really, it's a story about people.
Letting people see that they're not alone, they're not isolated. We're here to help.
And we need to work on behalf of our veterans.
Then we can really change that veteran's ability to reintegrate into the community.
Habitat for Heroes is not just rebuilding homes, but it's rebuilding lives.
And that's the message we want to get across.
Get involved. Visit habitatscv.org and find out how you can help.
Knock out cancer! You're watching Cougar News!
The California drought will not stop dozens of Olympian swimmers, even though Lake Castaic is closed to the public this summer. Lexi Sonner has more.
With the weather heating up, you may be wondering why Castaic Lake is closed to swimmers for the summer. Due to the drought California has been experiencing, the lake's water levels are not safe for recreational swimmers. However, these deep waters are no problem for the competitive swimmers Castaic will be hosting this summer.
This summer, the Open Water National Championship is going to be held at Castaic Lake right here in Santa Clarita. It's the national championship for open water swimming, and we're talking about, the best of the best. Some of the best swimmers in the world will be here competing in Santa Clarita. Cane's Aquatic Club, local swim club here in Santa Clarita, put in to host the Open Water National Championships. It actually is open for people to come, and we're encouraging as many people to come out there and see it because A, it's some of the best swimmers in the country, and you'd be surprised. Last year we had 14 swimmers finish within 3 seconds of each other. So that's incredible after 2 hours to have 14 people coming in within 3 seconds, most of which came in within a half a second of each other. So the finish in an open water swimming event is one of the most exciting things you'll ever see.
Make sure to check out the 2014 USA Open Water National Championships at Castaic Lake on June 13th and 15th. For Cougar News, I'm Alexis Sonner.
And now we have our very own Matt Robinson here with sports.
So tell me again, why is COC women's basketball in the news again?
They are in the news once again, and that's because of sophomore guard Kiona Matthews, who's accepted a full scholarship to Texas A&M International University. Matthews, who had one of the most impressive seasons in COC history, scoring 694 points en route to being named the Western States Conference Northern Division Player of the Year, is the third Cougar to transfer to Texas A&M International University.
She's the only player in the state to average over 30 points a game in the conference. She was second in the state in scoring. She set 5 individual school records here. And in my career here at 22 years, she's probably had arguably the best year of any player we've ever had. And it was fun to watch her play.
Matthews was also named to the 3rd team All-State in a season that saw her break 5 school records, including most points in a game with 47 against Moorpark. Staying at COC, 3 men's golfers have qualified for the California Amateur Championship at La Costa Resort in Carlsbad this June. Sydney Wolf, Michael Stewart, and Howard Bernstein all had outstanding rounds at Crystal Air Country Club in the qualifying tournament, earning their spots in the championship. Wolf won the qualifier with a round of 69, while Stewart and Bernstein tied for 3rd, both shooting rounds of 72. The championship field will begin play with 36 holes of stroke play on June 16th and 17th, with the top 32 advancing to single elimination match play beginning Wednesday, June 18th, with the final 36-hole match taking place Saturday, June 21st. Staying out on the links now, former Valencia High standout Max Homa has been tearing it up on the web.com tour as of late. Homa, who recently made the news for attempting to break the all-time record for quickest round, is playing some of his best golf this year, winning the BMW Championship a couple weeks ago and finishing 11th at the Rex Hospital Open last week. Homa has made the cut in all but one of his 6 starts this season on the web.com tour and has finished in the top 15 3 times, and he is now currently 9th on the web.com money list. Homa has also started 8 times on the PGA Tour this season, making the cut in 4 of his starts, including 1 top 10 finish at the Fries.com Open. Well, now we're going to switch gears a little bit and head out to high school sports, as Santa Clarita had 6 softball and 5 baseball teams make it into the CIF playoffs this year. We'll start out on the softball diamond with some first-round action as Saugus High School hosted the Canyon of Anaheim Comanches at Saugus. The Centurions would send out their star pitcher, Mariah Lopez. The sophomore, who had 3 shutouts on the year, would get some early run support off the bat of senior Alyssa Rodriguez, who would double all the way out to the right center field wall. 2 runs would score as she slid in ahead of the throw at second base. Next up would be Ty Cueva, and her CNI single would get past a diving second baseman, and Rodriguez, who had to hesitate at first, would beat the throw to the plate, giving the Centurions a 3-0 lead early on. However, Lopez would get herself into some trouble later on as she'd make a few errors and load the bases, and Jez Portillo for the Comanches would do some damage as she would just squeak this ball out of the infield, scoring 2 runs, evening the game as the throw to the plate was cut off at the mound, and Saugus and Canyon are now tied at 3. A couple batters later, Taryn Young, the freshman, would come to the plate, and she would do a nice job getting a deep pop fly out to center field, just deep enough as the runner from third would come home to beat the throw, and that would be all starter Haley Hilburn would need as she would settle down after that first inning, only allowing 1 hit and finally completing the game on a ground out to second base off the bat of Kayla Kessinger, as the Canyon of Anaheim Comanches would beat the Saugus Centurions 4-3. In other softball action, the Canyon Cowboys won a wild card match against Canyon Springs to make it into their first round playoffs, but they would fall to Pacifica Garden Grove by a final of 6-0, ending their season. Valencia would also fall short in its playoff appearance, dropping 5-2 to Oxnard High School. The West Ranch Lady Wildcats earned the top spot in the Foothill League, drawing a first-round matchup against Pacifica Oxnard. The Wildcats would show that their regular season dominance was still very much alive, dominating Oxnard 20-0. However, the Magic would run out in the second round as they would run into a very dangerous Cypress club, losing 5-1 and ending their season. Trinity Classical and Santa Clarita Christian also qualified for the playoffs in Division 7, but neither would be able to make it very far as Trinity would drop its opening round game by a final of 20-3 to Hawthorne MSA, while Santa Clarita Christian would have its season end in the second round, losing 7-1 to Bloomington. Moving over to the baseball field now, the Foothill League would see 4 of its squads in Saugus, Valencia, Hart, and West Ranch all make it to the playoffs this year. We'll head out to West Ranch High School first, as the Wildcats would draw a wild card matchup against the Chaminade Eagles. The Wildcats would send out Jake Bird, their senior starter, looking to continue the Wildcats season. He would do a pretty good job until the top half of the 5th inning when the Chaminade Eagles would finally start to hit him, this one coming off the bat of Dallas Tessar, a fly ball that bounces just off the glove of Jason Dries diving out in left field. Tessar would slide into third, it would be scored a triple, and he'd get an RBI, giving the Eagles a 3-0 lead. 2 batters later, Blake Rutherford would come to the plate, and he would leave no doubt as this ball would leave in a hurry. A 2-run home run for Rutherford, giving the Eagles a 5-0 lead over the Wildcats. And that would be all starter Dylan Suppan would need, as he was extremely effective throughout the game, striking out 5, including getting Jason Dries here just looking. Next up, Davis LeBaron, he'd check out for strike 3, and then Jake Bird swing and a miss. That would do it, as Suppan would go the complete game, 2-hit shutout, winning 5-0. Saugus also found a bid into the wild card round after finishing 4th in the Foothill League. They would draw what proved to be a very tough matchup against the Alemany Warriors. After jumping out to a 3-0 lead early on in the game, the Centurions would have 5 unanswered runs dropped on them by the Warriors, including 4 in the 5th inning, propelling Alemany to a 5-4 victory. The Foothill League champion Hart Indians hosted their first round matchup against Orange Lutheran, but couldn't capitalize on their late season theatrics, bowing out of the playoffs quietly with a 7-2 loss. Finally, the Foothill League's number 2 ranked team in the Valencia Vikings would have a much better go of things in their first round matchup against the Thousand Oaks Lancers. We'll head out to Valencia High School as Keston Hira, the big senior out of Valencia who led the state in home runs, puts another one over the fence, giving the Vikings an early lead as they would jump out to a 4-0 lead over the Lancers. Hira had 3 hits on the game and continues to be hot as he came into his senior year. The Lancers would get the game close, making it 4-2 eventually, but Valencia starter Kevin Chandler would really do a nice job of limiting their chances, striking out 7, only allowing 4 hits on the game, going for the complete game victory as Valencia would roll to an 11-2 win. The second round would not be as kind to the Vikings, though, as they were 2 outs away from with a 2-run lead from the second round when the J. Sarah Lions stormed back to grab a 6-5 victory over the Vikings today in 8 innings. Yesterday in 8 innings. The final team to make the CIF playoffs from Santa Clarita was Santa Clarita Christian School. And after having a superb Heritage League season going 20-0, the Cardinals were awarded the top seed in Division 7. And they really proved that they deserved that top seed in their first round matchup against Cuyama Valley, dispatching them 16-2. Tuesday, they kept up their winning ways, defeating Riverside Catholic by another lopsided score, this one 10-1. And moving themselves into the quarterfinals as the only SCV team remaining in the playoffs. The Cardinals will next host Riverside Prep on Friday, looking to earn their spot in the Division 7 semifinals. Well, switching gears a little bit more, looking for a way to have your kids stay active this summer? The Cougar Basketball Camp is currently having sign-ups for 2 sessions, one beginning June 30th to July 3rd, and the other July 7th through the 10th.
The 14th year we've had Cougar Basketball Camp here at College of the Canyons. We work on fundamental skills of basketball, teamwork, and hopefully we also get the children to enjoy the game of basketball. We have former players, current players, and sometimes we get some of the area's high school coaches as well.
Volleyball camp follows with 2 sessions starting July 14th through the 17th and another July 21st through the 24th.
We're going to hold 2 sessions this summer. Session 1 will start on July 14th. And it'll go through the 17th, and then the second session will start on July 21st, and it will finish on the 24th. So it's Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 12:30 each day. It's an individual skill camp. It's not a team camp. So our idea is to develop all of the skills associated with competitive play. It really is designed to be a fun environment so that when you're finished, you end up loving volleyball and you want to pursue it.
Both camps are co-ed, and you can go online to cocathletics.com to sign up. Well, the Amgen Tour of California rolled through the Santa Clarita Valley, bringing many of the top riders in the world along with it. Stages 5 and 6 started in Santa Clarita, one in Newhall, ending at Mountain High, the other at the Valencia Town Center, ending in Pasadena. The tour, which has gained a lot of prestige over the recent years, is now considered to be one of the top events on the professional cycle tour.
This is my first time out at Tour California, but I feel like it's a home race. There's huge support for Americans, there's huge support for the race in general, and it really shows cycling's growing and people want to see more of it.
Last year, the event brought in an estimated $1 million, as SCV officials will now hope that the tour will continue to make stops in Santa Clarita in the future. Well, that'll do it for sports. My Kings lost today, so they'll have to try and pick up a Game 6 victory and move on to the Stanley Cup Final. So back to you guys over there.
At least it'll be at home. That's the good part. Unfortunately, though, not something that isn't so good is the traffic we all have in Santa Clarita, and it can seem unpredictable. However, there's good news coming from the city's engineering department at City Hall, where they're telling us there are ways to deal with it. A worker in the department in City Hall tells us they have been regulating traffic by the flows of controlling all of the traffic in and around the Santa Clarita Valley, including controlling traffic lights and synchronizing groups of oncoming traffic. Along with that, the department is measuring data constantly, including the speed and traffic flow on busy streets such as Lyons Avenue, McBean Parkway, and Valencia Boulevard.
And the school year is coming to an end, but there's a teacher at West Ranch High School who has proven to stand out throughout the year. Some students say that teacher Tanya Brochet has shared knowledge and enthusiasm in her classes. Ryan Nelson has more.
Mistakes?
Brochet sets more than one goal in teaching her students. She has more than the capability of understanding how students learn.
In the big scheme of things, I want kids to learn how to be thinkers, how to look at a problem, whether it's a math problem or a real life problem, and figure out what it means and how to approach it.
Brochet not only teaches calculus, as students also learn discipline, rigor, and hope while taking her class, completing seemingly impossible goals such as passing the AP exam.
A lot of people aren't going to use calculus, let's be real, when they get older, but they can use a lot of the thought processes and a lot of the problem solving that you learn in math and use that in any day of their life. So definitely I want to do that. Obviously, as a teacher in high school, I have a lot of impact, or like to think I have a lot of impact on choices that students make. So I hope that I encourage them to make good choices and to be kind to one another.
At West Ranch High School, Tanya Brochet redefines the meaning of being patient with her students.
How to think. And I'm learning every day from all my students and from my peers. I got all sorts of great professional development. And it's
Brochet is by far one of the best teachers out there that should be mentioned. From Cougar News, this has been Ryan reporting.
Finally, whenever we feel sad or down, some of us work out or read a good book. A more common approach to sadness is by eating a lot. Scientists have now proven that eating food, especially sugary foods, can help boost your happiness. While the sugars and carbs may not help your figure or long-term health, studies have shown that an occasional cookie or two help raise endorphin levels, therefore boosting happiness and your feelings that come with it. While this comes as no surprise, and while eating healthy is still a better alternative, it's now okay to indulge a little. And you know, that's just something that I really do enjoy, that having a cookie can make you feel happy, right, Taylor?
Right, I agree with that.
And since this is really the end of the show, end of the semester show, I thought we'd all celebrate. I have enough for the studio too, in case you're wondering. And I have cookies for everyone.
You know what? That makes me feel happier already.
Good. Well, that's good because I'm going to eat one right now. Here, everyone gets one. You all get one. Everyone in the back, you get one too.
Well,
all right?
Thank you.
Of course.
And for Cougar News, I'm Taylor Villanueva. Don't forget that you can check us out on the web at cougarnews.com.
Hold on a second. And I'm CJ Schmid. You can catch all of the editions, especially our end of the semester edition, next week. Have a good night, folks. This is really good.